Good morning. I'm Terry Samuels, owner of Salterra Digital Services, SEO Spring Training, SEO University, follow, all that good stuff. Anyways, to continue on with our video series about siloing and internal linking, one of the biggest questions I get and one of the biggest things I see when I'm looking at websites is how do you interlink local business pages? So for instance, if you have a page, Denver Botox, for instance. So one of the biggest things that I see people make a mistake about is the other cities that you have pages for. They'll put those cities down at the bottom of that page and they'll interlink them to the other pages. First of all, do a test, okay? Do two pages exactly the same, interlink one with the cities, don't interlink one with the other one. You can mention them, obviously, just don't link to them. And see, in our testing that we've been doing over and over again, it really is a big negative to attach your Denver Botox page to your Littleton Botox page. At least from looking at it from a consumer, if somebody's in Denver, they're probably not interested in Littleton. Now, there's a couple things that you can argue here. One is that maybe they are in Littleton and didn't search that way, and for some reason your Botox Denver page showed up first. That can be, an issue. But the biggest thing is that you really don't want to link cities to cities to cities to cities, only because of the fact that if you're trying to rank your Denver Botox page, and you get some backlinks and build some backlinks and do a press release or whatever you're doing to get some more authority and trust to that local page, then you really don't want to interlink it over to Littleton and some of the other cities that you have pages built for. So there's a couple things that we start to look at when we start looking at local business pages. One is especially the linking if you mention stuff about the city. So things to do in Denver, history of Denver, stuff like that. So we've been doing tests on this for years. Do we link to the main Denver page, denver.com or whatever that main page is? Do we link to a things to do page? Do we link to a Denver Zoo page? Stuff like that. And I've done tests where we link to pages. I've done tests where we link to Google Maps. So we would link the Denver Zoo page or Denver Zoo mention to the Denver Zoo GBP. And one of the biggest things I can tell you in all of our testing, we actually saw better traction not linking out to those at all. So just mentioning them. There is a balancing act, and I'll do a video series on building local pages. But if you do mention about the city, things to do, stuff like that, in our testing, we have figured out that it doesn't do any good to link to these city websites and these, external links out to these other ones. So also along those same lines, like I mentioned in the first video, if you get a really powerful backlink and that backlink comes and points to that page, where do you want that page to, what else do you want that good backlink to generate power to? And it's probably not going to be the Denver Zoo page. It's probably not going to be, especially if you got a exact match anchor from a good backlink for Botox, maybe you don't want that going to the other pages. So on the local side, all I can tell you is do tests. Okay, so we test a lot and we'll change a lot. We'll do, and some things aren't the same. If you have a client in Dallas compared to Denver, it might not be the same way. So, but again, there's general rules of thumb, so to speak, and then there's testing. So when you start looking at how you want to build your local page and how you want to link out to your local page, and how much content do you want for the service, how much content do you want about the city. So there's all kinds of variables that can go into this. So local pages, in my opinion, are very, very important gateway pages, whatever you want to call them. And they really need to be done right. They really need to be tested constantly. And especially when you start building backlinks to these pages or getting backlinks to these pages, you really want to make sure that page is getting as much as that power as possible. So anyways, we'll continue on this series again, and thank you.